Is good, everybody out there? Thanks again for checking in to another episode of Court Thoughts, the channel where we basically talk basketball. This man's already in the history books. He's already penciled his name in there.
Yeah! Some of these. Done. Now let's see how it looks so far.
And I really don't think that it's up for debate to say whether or not he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Because look, he's going to be a Hall of Famer whether he wins a championship or not. I'm going to keep it 100. He absolutely will. I do hope he wins a championship. But that being said, who am I talking about? I'm talking about Russell Westbrook. Look, there's been a lot of spicy words said about this man's game. Out of this mouth too. I said hella crap about this man. If you want to understand that perspective, you've got to stick around to the end of the video, because before I get into the detailed analysis, I'm going to cover off my issues with why I don't believe he's a good fit for the Lakers. But let's get straight into the video. Link is in the description. The video is from a brand new channel to us called ZH Highlights. Please, guys, as always, make sure you jump over there. You give him some love by liking and subscribing. You can also do that for your boy as well. But look, let's check out the highlights. Let's get into it. Sorry for the confusion, guys. I know I'm in a different corner. I'm just trialing something different out. But look, let me know what you think in the comments. Let's jump over and check out ZH Highlights' video. Let's do it. Drifting off into the corner, getting left alone. I love that. Hey, that's actually a really good detail. That's a really good art of deception detail. I really like that. Looking away. Good slip pass. Really good. See the drive and dish? Love it. That's how you can be an effective basketball player. Get into the danger zone, make them worry about you, and then get rid of it to an open man. Beautiful. Beautiful dime. I don't really see much benefit in that. No one moved, including him, after he gave up the rock. Dribbling the defender down. I like it. It is what it is. Drifting into space. Yes! Catch them sleeping, baby. Catch them sleeping. Run the floor. That's what you want to do. Run the floor. Get easy buckets. Don't make it difficult. The game's difficult enough. Creep in. Bump and slip. Get into space. Exact same thing. Get into the danger zone. Get rid of the ball. See how everyone's not moving? I got a real problem with that. Happy that this man made the tray though. Secure the board. Look at the floor. Great. See, this is what he should be doing. This is how you should be playing, Russ. Hey, good body positioning as well to get in to seal the recovery out. So the defender couldn't make a recovery out because he gets in the way. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that he's getting confident. I love it. Thank you so much, LH Highlights. Fire video, fire video. Now, guys, before I get into the detailed analysis, I said at the beginning of the video, I was going to point out my issues with why I didn't think Russell Westbrook was a good fit for the Lakers. Let me point something out to you. Initially, when this man was brought over to the Lakers, the big gripe that I had was specifically that he is a ball-centric player. He's a player that needs the ball in his hands all the time. And the problem with that is that at the time of this man jumping over to the Lakers, you also had Anthony Davis. Needs the ball in his hands. okay? LeBron James needs the ball in his hands. Equally can facilitate for others, but primarily is going to facilitate for himself until defenders crash out on him and he releases the ball. And then you also had other guys with the likes of Carmelo Anthony. Now, why did I think that this is a problem? Why did I identify that him being a ball-centric player was going to be a problem? Being a ball-centric player is not a problem, but it's a problem when you're a point guard on a team that requires you to get rid of the ball. You're not going to be able to average triple doubles on a stacked team like that. You're going to need to facilitate in moving the ball around. And one of the things that I believe that has always been pretty lackluster in Russell Westbrook's game is his ability to be a little bit more unselfish. He's definitely a hustle player. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the hustle, the attitude, the grit, the grime that Russell Westbrook plays with. But one of the issues that I thought is just that his style of play never really fit. If you look at and compare him to, say, someone like Luka Doncic is also a very ball-centric player. But given the nature of how the Mavs have played, he can do that. He can have that sense of freedom because there really wasn't a need for other players to have the ball in their hand to start the play off with. He can generate plays. He can get them. The other players can move around without him to create opportunities for themselves, and he'll find them, okay? And he'll find them open. Russell Westbrook isn't necessarily going to be that player. We can see that his game, for lack of a better phrase, has matured a little bit more. We can see him being a little bit more pass friendly in those highlights, but look, I'm going to get into those highlights in just a moment. But that's the main reason why I spoke about my issues with Russell Westbrook jumping over to the Lakers. I did believe that it was going to create some rift and create some issues. And it did, because everyone went out there thinking they were going to get record-breaking Russell Westbrook. They thought they were going to get averaging triple-doubles for a year, Russell Westbrook. And the reality is that level of play is not sustainable. You can't play like that forever. But also, number two, that it slowly develops into a flaw in the change rooms with the camaraderie, the teammateship. It creates a problem. You ever played on a team with someone who doesn't know how to pass a ball? You ever played on a team with people who just hog the ball? They get the ball and they completely forget everyone else? It absolutely sucks. When you have some of the best players in the world, and we're talking about players like LeBron James, arguably one of the greatest players of all time. Whether you think he is or not, he's arguably, you can argue the point, hence arguably, one of the greatest players of all time. You have to be able to facilitate and get him the ball to then generate your opportunities. It's like a puzzle. It's creating a new opportunity for you to play and where you slot in and fit in. How did his game mature? Well, now we get to get into the detailed analysis, baby. All right, let's kick it off. First thing that I want to talk about is one of the things that has always been a strength in Russell Westbrook's game, and that's the ability to drive to create. Now, when I'm talking about driving to create, there's primarily two aspects that we're going to be talking about. We're talking about creating for yourself, and we're going to be talking about creating for others. But in order for me to do that, I need to talk about one thing, and that's the retreat dribble. The retreat dribble is now starting to be much more utilized as a way to create space. When a defender's approaching you, what's the one thing that they want to do? They want to take away space. So they're going to hound you. They're going to get up in your face. If you are positioned well on the court and you have good court awareness, you're aware of your surroundings, you're aware of the players around you, you can retreat dribble, which is literally just dribbling backwards. You can sometimes see guys will shield a little bit and they'll sort of space out. And what that will do is that will then give them more runway. A guy like Russell Westbrook is like an aeroplane. He needs space to take off. Okay, you got to give him that space. So if you look at the floor and the way that teams are going to play successful with him is when he gets into that retreating space, they open out. The reason why they do that is because number one, it opens the lane for him so that he can go down the line and attack. And it forces the defenders to have to make a decision. Are you going to defend him driving to the bucket? Or are you going to defend me sitting out on the 3-point waiting to catch and shoot? If they're a professional NBA player, even someone who you think that can't shoot the basketball is going to be able to hit an open, contested 3-point shot. Or if not, they're going to be able to get the ball, look at it, and get rid of it and get it to someone else to make an even easier bucket than an open three. The point that I'm saying is that that retreat dribble creates space, and it creates space for Russell to really take off. And it's a very, very smart tool that I think a lot of people don't realize that you should be trying to use it. One way that we see a lot of guys use it, when they retreat dribble, say for example, they want to go down the right-hand side, they're going to retreat dribble into the left, and what that does is it creates this real big line, and it opens up the floor. It literally opens up about half of it. Now, depending on how the defender fronts you, if the defender tries to shuttle you over to the left, which they very well may do, you still are able to create off of that by, give and go situations, or you can literally attack their front foot, cross them up, go, and make them turn their shoulder. It doesn't necessarily take away from the game, but realistically, what they're worried about at that point in time is, as a defender, they want to try and push them to the corner, but they're worried about all the blind sides of the court. And they don't want to get backpicked, they don't want to get screened in the back, and then they're completely lost and disrupted. And then now there's a downhill situation with a big trying to hedge or recover at the very, very top of the key. It's a very dangerous situation. The big's not going to be able to keep up with them. So they're generally going to sort of give them that middle of the court and just sort of try to push them out or slow them down to allow recovery to get there. But the dribble retreat, or the retreat dribble, however you want to call it, it's a highly effective tool. Make sure you got it in your bag. Russell's got an exceptionally fast foot. He's got a really fast foot. He's able to generate speed or acceleration really quickly, and he maximizes on this when he's driving. You can see he's ultra effective with things like Euro steps. He's able to slip in and out of space, and he's able to do this at a high speed and stay on balance. Now, when we're driving to create for ourselves, you're ultimately creating an option for others as well. The reason for this is we just need to look at the court really quickly. On the court, there's 5 players. There's 5 defensive players. If I drive in, if a defender comes and crowds me, that means that they've shifted away from someone else. Now, depending on the positioning of your teammates, if your teammates are smart and aware of space, and we could see in quite a few of those clips that defenders were able to read the space very well, you can see that he's able to get to the bucket, defenders crowd, he gets rid of the ball, and there's an open shot or an open lane for a drive, finish, drop down bucket, whatever the case is. When you're looking to be aggressive, the defense has to be reactive. They have to react to it. If I'm going fast, but controlled, it's important to understand that I can't just go fast and out of control, but fast and in control with purpose, the defense has less time to think about what they want to do, and you can really take advantage of it. So I really do like the drive to create. What that ultimately does is if they slack off of you and you can go for the finish, great. When the defense starts to crowd you and they collapse in on you, if you can't make that shot or it's not an opportunity or you've got a teammate that's open, you can hit them and let them get open. But this is not the end of the play. That's probably one bad thing that I'm going to call out about this video, is the fact that the floor movement in those clips alone was pretty trash. A lot of the time you would see either guys dribbling and everyone else is standing still, blowing bubble gum, doing nothing, or as soon as they pass the ball, they ball watch. And it's a big issue that a lot of players have. It's not just professionals make this mistake. I've seen children make this mistake. I've seen grown men make this mistake. Everyone makes this mistake. The big thing that you want to be looking at is my next point, floor positioning. You should always be trying to think about where you are positioned on the floor. When you get rid of the ball, okay, the ball is the focus. So if I pass the ball over here, I have opportunity to move over to the left. I can create something over here. Whether I screen someone, they lift, and then I move and move and move. I'm basically forcing my defender to keep track of me. If he loses sight of me, I'm slipping straight to the bucket. You could see a really good instance of that where Russ gave up the ball. He sort of moseyed in a little bit and slipped right under the basket and was ready to take an easy shot. And we want easy baskets. But the other thing is that we need to be conscious of how we fill gaps. Offensively, I don't want to crowd my teammate. I might be going towards where a teammate is, maybe to screen their defensive player so that they can curl and get open and let them get free. Okay, that's a very good teammate action to do. Get your teammate free for an easy bucket. But the other thing that we can do is we can look at the floor, we can see how people are spaced. The more you space, the better, because the defense has to space. And if they space, they got less room for error. They really can't make any mistakes because they got a larger margin to cover. Make them really struggle for it. Really make them move. Don't just get into a corner and sit there and play with your hair or whatever, blow bubble gum. But you got to get to the corner, you got to move, you got to make the defender lose you. You know, we could see that in the first clip as well. He passed the ball, he got off into the deep corner, the defense started to shift out because they were ball watching. They literally turned their back to him, and then he was able to catch the ball and sort of go into this really nice deceptive fake where he's looking at them and then sort of goes into his shot. I really liked it. The other thing is about being impactful. Now, if you notice as well, there was a play that was in the bottom right-hand corner that when Russell gave the ball up, he put his body in the way of the defense to not be able to recover. If you really are smart about this, you can get away with doing things like that by just being a nuisance, just being really disruptive and creating delay between the defender recovering and giving your teammate more time to make a decision about what they want to do. Giving them an extra little bit of time is going to create even better opportunities, smarter, smoother, more free basketball, which is ultimately what we want, right? So we want to be able to get open, easy looks at the basket, and by being really smart and aware of where your floor positioning is, also where the defenders are recovering from, can I get in the way by utilizing things like screens? Can I be sneaky with my screens? Can I get their own teammate in the way by bringing my man over, and now he's just got to open up space, and if they don't communicate, it just creates this little extra opportunity. So I really do like it. I really, really do like it that he's very conscious of his floor positioning, especially in those highlights there on the offensive end and the defensive end. Absolutely love it. Now, the last thing that I'm going to comment to is confidence. Put yourself in this man's shoes. You're a world-class player. People put you at this standard that then ultimately becomes unmaintainable. The minute you still are an effective player, they still don't give you those props. Now, if you look at those highlights, this man scored 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. All right? This was the first game that the Lakers won this season. And the biggest highlight is not that stat sheet. It's not the fact that this man has started to play like what people anticipate he's capable of playing. It's the fact that Coach Ham got his first win. Bro, that's got to play around with your mindset. It's got to play around with your confidence on your game. Confidence is a really, really key, critical part of the game of basketball. There's a balance in being able to be confident and overconfident. Listen, let me speak from the heart for a moment. I've had moments where I've been on the court and I've been uncomfortable and I've been not confident in my skill set. The minute that you take yourself out of the game mentally, it stays with you. It infects you. It's like a chest cold. It sits there and just it's cough and phlegm and just rubbish, and it's negativity, and it doesn't help you. And then you got to work and grind to get back at it, to be an effective teammate and to be a positive teammate. And I've seen some people get injured and lose confidence in their skill set and their ability, and they never come back. I've seen people get blocked real bad or dunked on and lose confidence in their skill set. I'll keep it 100, okay? You are going to get blocked. You are going to look bad. You're going to have off days. People aren't going to like you. But the one thing that you have to maintain, focus and mindset on yourself in you being confident and understanding what you bring to the table and how you're an asset, and just do that. Don't try to do anything else. Don't try to be the next Michael Jordan. Don't try to be the next Kobe Bryant. If you're Kyle Korver, be Kyle Korver. Get to the corner, get the open shots, shoot that shot. If you're Patrick Beverley, be that lockdown defender. Get in people's ear. But be you. Don't be anything else. That's honestly the biggest piece of advice. If you guys can take away anything from today's video, it's be confident in your skill set. But understand that, you know, you're going to have rough days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have good days. But you got to take it as it is, right? It is what it is. Thank you so much, LH Highlights, for the video. It's absolutely fantastic. I have to say, it was really, really good. Please make sure you jump over there, you give them some love by liking and subscribing. And please do the same for your boy, okay? Hit that like and subscribe button. I'm currently pushing to hit my new milestone of 10K subs. And I need all your love and support. The other thing that I want to say before I wrap up today's video is thank you all so much to everyone out there who was commenting on and watching and reacting to the recent video that I put out on Facundo Campazzo. It was really good to see all your guys' opinions and hear what you had to say, whether it was in English or in Spanish. And I hope I made sense. My Spanish isn't the best, but I did my best. But look, I honestly, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate all the love and support I get from you guys and the interactions. And you know, the goal is to try and spread as much love and awareness about basketball. So whatever way I hit you with that love, that's the main thing that I'm trying to do. So I really do appreciate it. But look, until I see you next time, make sure you're looking after yourself, you take care, and be safe. All right, peace.